All right, everyone. Happy Friday. Hopefully you're having a good week. If you live in LA, we've had terrible weather.
Yeah.
It's been raining. It looks like it's generally cold all over the country still. Coachella's this weekend.
So we didn't miss much.
Friday night would have rained.
That
at
would be a
Coachella.
disaster.
That would not have been good.
Have we had rain at Coachella? I know we've had cold ones.
No, we've definitely had rain.
Okay.
Years ago, there was rain.
Okay.
A long time ago, maybe even like 8 years ago. But I remember there was a little rain. Cold, we've definitely had. Then Saturday and Sunday seem to be nice weather days for Coachella.
Yeah.
So my plan Saturday and Sunday, because I have not, except for that one drink I had with Paul Ripke, drank in 3 weeks.
Wow. Have you lost weight?
I've lost 2 pounds.
How do you
That's
feel?
it?
That's it.
So
and I've been
drinking,
running every other day and push-ups and sit-ups.
drinking has no effect on your weight loss.
Drinking has zero impact on weight loss. Anyone who tells you otherwise is lying.
I feel like I've been told that a lot by a lot of people.
I think I know why. I don't eat when I'm drunk. So a lot of people who get drunk come home at night and then snack.
Love that.
Yeah, that's my move.
I don't do that.
Late night food.
I just do not.
You just go to bed.
I never snack at night. Like,
What do you do?
ever.
You just come home and go to bed?
Yeah, I
Don't
drink
you
water.
sneak out some Mel's sometimes back in your heyday?
That was, like 8 years ago. But at home now, but I'm also not getting hammered, right?
Right.
I'm having 1 or 2 drinks and then that's it. I go to sleep and I had no urge to eat. It's like, you've been dancing all night, 17 drinks, you're sweaty. Then you're like, you need a snack.
Right. Home drinking, I agree. There's no late night munching when you're just sitting at home drinking.
Exactly.
You
So
pass out.
So for me, it's not the weight loss that I'd hoped.
So you basically gain nothing from not drinking, just absent of heartburn.
No heartburn. I feel pretty good. I sleep really well.
When are you coming back from this?
I think Coachella weekend.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Coachella weekend, I'm back.
Which is this weekend. And
Wow.
to commemorate.
I'm going to shave.
Oh my God.
I'm going to do a big shave. I've been even thinking about getting clippers and cutting my hair. Just screw it. Let's see what
what's
happens.
interesting about Coachella? It was socially accepted to wear masks at Coachella.
Yeah.
I used to always wear
That was
masks.
the only place.
Yeah.
Now the whole world is, but
Yeah.
Coachella always.
And I'm going to get dressed up like what I would wear on a Saturday at Coachella.
T-shirts, shorts.
Yeah, maybe shorts, maybe pants.
You should tie the light hoodie around the waist because you need that for the nighttime.
Yeah, I'm just going to get
You gotta
dressed
be
up,
well prepared.
have sunglasses, have a drink in my hand, and hang out in my backyard.
You probably get some nice IG Live DJ sets.
Yeah.
Can I come by if I social distance?
Yeah, I don't
Maybe
know.
I'll stand on the other side of your bushes.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't need you to come by. So I'm excited for this weekend. Look, I think part of the challenge is like, how do we all pass our time? And my wife and I, we go for walks. Like during the day when I'm not busy with work, she was like, "Let's go for a walk." We go for a walk. So that's fun, but we're just literally walking around our neighborhood,
Right?
And
Your neighborhood has a lot of walkers.
a lot of walkers. So it's interesting and I know a bunch of people in the neighborhood, so I run into people, which is nice. But it is getting a little frustrating just hanging out. I'm like,
I'll tell you, I wake up every morning in somewhat of a mental funk until I run.
yeah,
Once I get a sweat in,
yeah.
I feel back alive again.
Yeah, and I think, for me, running is being a big part of it. I'm running 4 times a week, 4 miles each time, and then I'm doing push-ups and sit-ups for the Menlo Challenge. That has been life-saving for me, and I have definitely gotten in shape. I have lost a little bit of weight. I'm fortunately 2.5 pounds away from my wedding weight.
Wow.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah. That's a big deal.
That's huge.
So that's kind of my big news for the week.
Right.
But I'm excited for this weekend. The weather's going to turn. And really, like, I also kind of getting sick of TV.
Yeah.
And we don't really watch TV. Like, we only watch TV after we put Dom to sleep. And that's by 9:30, we like to have the TV off. So it's really 7:45 to 9:30 is my TV time.
Right.
And then I'm honestly not that engaged in like TV. I'm just like, whatever. Like, I need some action, guys.
I'm done with social media. Like,
Social media is rough.
It's broke right now.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
like,
there's, like-
I don't think anybody knows what to do.
Yeah, Instagram is pretty stale.
Yeah.
There's nothing interesting that anyone's posting.
Yeah, I mean,
I like actually, I mean, being a parent, I like seeing kid stuff.
Yes.
Seeing other friends' kids and what they're doing.
Sure.
yeah. And I think for me,
That's
Very
not your
limited.
demo.
No,
that's not your
mine at all.
demo.
yeah, and shockingly, maybe you have, I have not been invited to one social Zoom hangout. Not one.
I have a few.
None of my friends have done it. None of my friends have invited
You
me.
have boomer friends, though.
Yeah, how many of your friends have you seen do
I
it?
see old people like doing Zoom hangouts. Not one. And a lot of my friends have invited, not one of my
So
friends.
you motherfuckers out there listening.
But even like couple friends, I see couples doing stuff.
Yeah.
We're doing, I mean, like I haven't got invited to
Why
one.
don't you start it? Why don't you? And then
Amanda
you can
does a lot of
uninvite.
house parties.
Oh, yeah.
We've done some Zooms. I did a Zoom with my friends from San Francisco.
How many?
5 of us total. Went 2 hours.
Wow.
And we didn't like set like a time. We were like 9 p.m. Let's all Zoom. And by the time I knew it was 11, and I was like, damn, I'm tired. And we just shut it
I
down.
want to do that. None of my fucking friends are losers.
Maybe. It
Does
was,
that mean,
it was
does that
actually
mean that
really
makes
good.
you a
Like,
loser?
Yes.
and it was cool because it's a group of my best friends that I would never do this with.
Yeah.
And I don't see them that often because they live up north. I live in LA. And it was amazing. Like we should have been doing this all this time. I get it for people locally. When this all ends, no one's Zooming again.
Yeah.
But with friends from different cities,
Yeah.
it was really cool.
Yeah, the problem is you would never be at home for that long of a time where you would be like, I'm so bored. I'll
Right.
just Zoom my
Yeah,
friends.
because we would have had a full Sunday of like activities with Mav and then be like, I'm going to
Tired.
sleep.
Yeah, and that's why like there's gonna be this impending Zoom crash.
Yeah.
That like I think in theory all this video stuff, but the moment you can hang out with the homies, it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not
Absolutely.
Zoom.
Live
I might-
goes out the door.
I
Zoom
might
goes out the door.
delete Zoom.
Yes.
Just to be like,
Yes.
I can't even hang out with you.
Yeah, so you would imagine that the consumer side of Zoom falls off a cliff.
Yeah.
But I think the business side,
Yeah.
they need to start ramping up certain products,
Yeah.
offerings, and generate more revenue.
Yeah, like you should be able to video and share with screen. Like there's a lot of little bugs that you still need to fix on there that I think could be powerful.
It's almost like a bad thing for Zoom because they're gonna have a giant fall off.
Yes.
But people are gonna be so sick of it by the time we're done with it. They, at least for a while.
Yeah, I mean, but I think
But they don't make money off the consumer
Right.
anyways.
Right now.
So and I don't know what product offering consumers will be using it
yeah,
on a go-forward basis because it's such a good product though.
Yeah.
it is phenomenal. Like the lag time, the latency, everything. There's nothing. It's
Yeah.
just it's a phenomenal product. So that's interesting. But on to some more positive news. The first two positive news that I want to mention is because of two friends. One is our friends over at Fashion Nova, Rich, who I've been speaking to a lot during this whole kind of crisis, someone that is a good sounding board, is donating $1 million with Cardi B, $1,000 to families each over the next 42 days to help people. And you can go to fashionnova.com/cares, kind of tell them your story, and they're looking to help people.
That's great.
And I think it's great that these emerging companies, a company like Fashion Nova, is giving back to their community. I think it's so important. I love that they partnered with Cardi B, gets more exposure. So that's phenomenal. Thank you, Rich, for doing that. I think that's great. Revolve put their money where their mouth is. They also donated money. They donated $250,000 towards getting masks to our frontline responders. And then they're doing a GoFundMe to raise a total of $1 million with their customers. So we'll post the GoFundMe on our newsletter
Yep.
and on social media. Please go support that because that's an amazing cause. And you know, Michael Mente, another person, and his partner Michael, another group of guys that I look up to that are also big in the LA fashion community that are also stepping up. So it's nice to see like the homies all step up and really pitch in. That's great. And in our part, we're obviously not as big as those companies, so we're trying to do what we can. What we can is we're offering people affordable masks. We're selling them for $3 for $12. If you're a Menlo Club member, it's free shipping. If you're not, it's $4 for shipping, and you can buy them on the New Republic site. And our goal really was, I went to go look for masks, and I saw people selling similar to my price of 3 for $12. I saw people selling it for $10 a mask. I saw people selling for $20 a mask. And then I saw people charging $10 for shipping, $15 of shipping. And I was like, let me go do some research and figure out how much this actually cost. And we were able to do it at a pretty affordable price. We know people are going to have to go through these. These are machine washable. We put an antimicrobial spray on it. So, we're really trying to help in any way we can. Obviously, if I can give them away for free, I would love to, but we're just not, we're not Amazon or Google that can afford to do that. So we're doing it. I mean, it's good to know that your money does help employ all of our staff. We continue to pay everyone. We have not furloughed, laid anyone off. We also are paying our bills with our vendors. Like, maybe not our landlords, but
hopefully they don't listen.
Fingers crossed.
But, we're doing our best. I think, it's great when all these companies that are doing well go out and give to the community. I think we forget, and I'm going to put my business in there, the small business, that if we're still able to pay our employees and we're still able to keep business as usual, we're also doing something that's special too. I'm not asking for a pat in the back, but it's just important that we recognize everyone is trying and keep continuing to try to do your best, and we'll all get out of this. And I think, it's amazing to see the big guys really get out there and help companies. I see a lot of companies doing amazing things. And in times like this, we need private enterprise to really step up. They're more efficient. Yeah. For Revolve to source 1 million masks and then our government to source 1 million masks is just night and day. Right. Revolve will just figure it out faster and more efficient and get it to our frontline responders.
Yeah, get it to the right people in a more efficient way, because the government clearly is struggling.
Yeah, exactly. So we wanted to start this episode, 1, in a more lighthearted way, 2, on all the positive things everyone is doing in the community. And if you're doing something interesting with your company and you want us to share it, we'd love to share it. We want to highlight all the positive things that are happening in the community. So let's get into some news.
Let's do it.
You know what we're talking about. We're talking Corona. We're talking all things Corona. The first thing. The virus has changed the way we use the internet. So we just talked about this. There is a serious drop-off in mobile phone usage.
Right.
I just saw staggering statistics on top of what I'm reading here. iPhone sales are down 56%.
That's also a function of the Apple stores are closed worldwide.
But everyone said that, I saw an article 1 month ago that they thought iPhone sales would be down 5 to 10%.
Oh my God.
And it's down 56% because in the case of Apple, clearly retail matters.
Right.
Because you want to play around and discover the product. When you're spending, for most people, your phone is the most expensive thing you own.
Right.
It's
the most expensive thing I own.
Yeah.
By a factor of 10 probably.
Yeah. I mean,
what it's over $1,000, right?
Yeah. Well, how many things of $1,000 do you own? And so you see this less dependence on cell phones. And what's happening is it's also changing the way we use the internet. And so there's some pretty interesting stats on certain things that are connecting with people and certain things that are not. What were some of the interesting ones? Netflix.com is up.
Brian Toll must be logging on his desktop.
Because people are logging on to Netflix.com. And I think that's also where you'd also see that is on television. People are using their traditional platforms to view content.
Right. And what it tells me is when you're not always on the move, the mobile phone's not the most optimized experience.
No, here's where I get really, I really start thinking about the future. Do we believe work from home is real?
I think it absolutely would be a part of every company.
Okay.
It's not going to be 100% like we are right now.
Think about if that is real. Work from home. What does that impact? Forget commercial real estate. We know that's going to impact that. Yeah. It impacts Uber.
Absolutely.
Okay. It impacts mobile phone usage dramatically.
Yeah.
Dramatically. We were always told the mobile is the future. That is how everyone's just going to be on the go and using their phones. Think about all the mobile applications that just lost its.
And think about people might not cut the cord. The cable cord. If you're home all day, you need some channels.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Even like Facebook.com is up 27%. Facebook apps are only up 1%.
Right.
I mean, like Google next.
Maybe this thing isn't as revolutionary as we thought.
Maybe the iPhone's over. It's over.
No, it's revolutionary in the world we lived in 6 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
But I mean, Apple's going to revolutionize, like, they'll continue to revolutionize, like, what we do with our phone. And, like, how we integrate that across these traditional platforms. Like,
okay, like what?
Like,
Give me an
eventually
example.
your iPhone will be able to project and to be able to put on any screen. So now it just becomes like Apple in general controls your TVs, now your computer and your phone. So it'll just all be integrated into technically one device essentially.
Well, the problem is like,
because then what do you count that as?
Here's the thing: is if you are home, this is where Apple loses. If you are home, you're not using your phone. You're going to use your television. Right? They do not sell TVs.
They have Apple TV.
Yeah, but they don't sell the hardware.
Right.
They've made a shitload of money of selling these $1,500 devices.
Right.
That is where their money, that's the last 10 years. That's where they made all their money, selling iPhones. So if you look at these usage, I know we're in an anomaly and like once things open back up, but it has changed behavior.
Absolutely. And it changes so quickly, not only because we were forced to shut down and forced to change, but I don't know, the human psychology is just like you start accepting the new norm right away.
Yeah.
Like now people have accepted, like, this is my life.
Yeah.
I sit at home, I go for a walk, maybe I go to the market, and that's it.
Like, I'll give you an example. I don't really have a laptop.
Like I've used my laptop more than I've ever used it in the last 3 weeks.
And I went to our IT guy and I was like, give me a laptop.
Give me one of those.
Give me one of those devices. So he set me up with a laptop. And at home, I sit on my laptop. And it's just an interesting... Here's where the business opportunities is. And I've been screaming about this in my Detour podcast. You should check those out because they're really interesting conversations. And what I want people to start thinking, if you're an entrepreneur, is think about how you re-envision your business in the modern world. And that's a very, very serious thing you should think about. Like, we know habits have changed. Where does your business fit in? If you're a restaurant and the way we eat has changed, maybe if you're, let's take example. If you're Delilah and your most popular dish is chicken tenders, maybe you need to be in the frozen chicken tenders business.
Right.
And that's a way where people can capture the Delilah experience without going into a restaurant.
So here's my question. Pre-vaccine, we know life as we know 3 weeks ago doesn't exist.
Yeah.
There's not going to be concerts. There's not going to be sporting events or
Correct.
with fans or, all that. What happens post-vaccine? What is the permanent behavior change? So I think work from home element of that is permanent. Go forward.
Yeah.
We will get back to concerts, but will you go to pre-having a kid, if someone invited me to a concert, gave me tickets, I just blindly went. Yeah. Because it was a fun excuse to have a night out and go experience something that you don't typically always do. I don't know if that's the case.
Well, here's the thing is now the thing that's opened up people's eyes is that we're going to go out, get the vaccine. We're all going to be feeling comfortable about being outside more. But what we've learned is that this can happen again.
Exactly.
So when you have that fear in the back of your head, that changes the way you behave. And let's just assume, best case, everyone goes back to normal in terms of that part of their life. Large gatherings, things happen. I think the work from home thing is so devastating to so many industries that we're not accounting just for the issue with commercial real estate. You're not, what does that mean to the downstairs lady at your building that sells snacks and food when half the building is going to be empty? She's out of business. She can't pay that rent. What happens to the corner liquor store on the bodega? Like all these types of things that are built on business workers, business travel, all those things. Business travel is going to take the biggest hit. You're not going to get up and travel for that one meeting anymore. No fucking chance.
Yeah, like, are you going to...
How many times have I gone across the country, New York, for one meeting for 30 minutes and just get spit in my face and fly back?
Yeah, that's like a $7,000 expense that could have been a Zoom call.
Yeah.
So think about corporate expenses and how they're going to change.
Yeah.
and there are going to be massive restrictions on what's accepted.
But look at the trickle down of that. How that impacts travel. How about impacts hotels, people in hospitality, restaurants, drivers, Ubers. I mean, we're not thinking. We just saw the stock market go up again today. This is Thursday. This week has been like a record week. I know the stock market is being manipulated and it's not reflecting what's happening in the real world, but take a minute to look at the trickle down impact we're having on our economy that normal people are not recognizing. Investors are thinking that this is normal. So this is where I'm really at a loss of words, because I don't think we're thinking about the impact of, like, I was thinking about a company like Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat's number one distribution is restaurants.
Right. Weren't they? No, that'd be impossible.
Impossible
is all restaurants.
It's all restaurants, but even beyond, their distribution is predominantly restaurants, right? Yeah. If people cut eating out dramatically in the future, a business like that really struggles.
Right.
Really struggles. Like, you can't, because we're looking at companies that are thriving right now, but once the dust settles, I don't know if I think everyone's going to take a big haircut. So it's just really interesting. I've been really thinking about what to do.
How do you think people's consumer behavior changes, though, if they're not eating out? Like, we know that everybody's just kind of like getting delivery right now and cooking at home, but everybody's going to be sick of that.
So I agree. I think the moment there is a vaccine and the moment there's, hey, you're allowed to go back out, there will be a massive boom. Right. The problem is, in a city like LA, we've already heard rumors that if they open restaurants up soon, it would be 50% capacity. So if that's the case, these restaurants in LA and New York City and San Francisco and Chicago that pay insane rent, they have to operate at 90% capacity or they fail.
Yeah, like a restaurant, a best run restaurant is 15% net income.
Yeah.
And how can you operate at 50% of revenue? Something's got to give. Rent either has to be a fraction of what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know how this first reopen even happens. What restaurant's going to open when you're only allowed to be at 50% capacity?
Because then you're going to have to pay rent. Because then you have to tell your landlord,
rent's 10% of what I used to be.
Yeah, because the landlord's like, you're open, you got to pay rent.
Yeah.
Like, when you're not using the facilities, like, we're not using our office, so I'd be like, all right, why should I pay rent?
Right.
But when we're using something, we have to pay rent. And here's another interesting number. So driving is obviously way off. So in a city like LA, it's off 70%. San Francisco, 83%. Chicago, 67%. Boston, 75%. New York, 67%. Washington, D.C., 77%. These are massive declines in driving. So how quickly will this go back up? Like, when will be the first time we have traffic in Los Angeles? What day?
Yeah.
When schools reopen in September?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, when will we actually have traffic? Because, like, if they relax restrictions, it's not like the next day everyone's going to go back to work on top of each other. It's not like you're going to go to a game. It's not like
right.
Like, think about
none of those things will happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, we're not, like, I don't think people can formalize in their head what has happened.
Yeah,
and the impact that it has on, like, your business, your behavior, the economy, employment.
What's your guys' like long-term predictions for like what really comes of this, or like what tends to start happening when this continues 3-4 months down the road?
So, I mean, I think my short-term prediction is there's an enormous amount of pain in our economy that people are not realizing. I don't care how much stimulus you shove down everyone's throat.
Right.
I'll give you an example. We have a close friend. Got approved for the stimulus money.
That motherfucker.
Okay? Business is not open. You have to use the money for payroll.
Yep.
He can't open. How can he use the
Can
money
we
for
talk
payroll?
about what his business is,
Guess
or
what?
no?
He can't take the money.
Right.
Because if he takes the money, then he has to open his
pay
business,
it.
which he's not allowed to do, and then he has to pay people. So is he supposed to take the money and just pay people, and then the government just forgives it? Why would he take the money? And the odd chance it's not forgiven, he just incurred some debt.
Yeah, he just incurred a lot of debt.
I've been seeing some things on Twitter like talk to your lawyers before you take the money, because there's some like laws that are, if people aren't doing things to order, like facing 30 years in prison for fraud and all this stuff, and like it's just kind of blindly being given out without people understanding what the bells and whistles are and what you're on the hook for, and you take it, and they're going to retroactively go after people.
Oh,
right?
yeah. They'll take 10 years, but everyone's going to get sued. Everyone who committed fraud will go get caught. The real sophisticated people won't. It'll be the poor fucking dry cleaner that has 3 locations that mistakenly did something that for 50 grand is going to face 5 years in jail, and he's going to be on the cover of Daily Mail, dry cleaner fraudster.
Right.
And he just didn't know what he was doing, or didn't understand it. They were like, didn't read the fine print. And this is why the fear I have with the stimulus, and then I have a bigger fear of the changing behaviors of humanity. That is the scariest thing.
Yep.
That people are not pricing in to what is about to happen. Here's the next thing you're not pricing in. 1/3 of U.S. apartment renters didn't pay April rent. 1/3.
Right.
Did you pay rent, Pete?
I did.
Okay. Tim, did you pay rent? Okay. I paid rent.
I paid rent too.
Okay.
So we don't
third?
factor in that third. We're
I think my
idiots.
apartment building was legit like not having it because they like immediately sent out like, if you got somebody looking for a roommate, we got people that are like needing them.
And by the way, the 70% that did pay includes people that only made partial payments.
Wow. So what I've heard in LA, Class A residential apartments.
Yeah.
So that's basically, my guess is what do you think, over $3,000 in rent? Probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't even probably lower it. Yeah.
90% collection.
Yeah.
So
That's good or bad?
they were happy.
Okay.
They were happy with 90% because if it gets down to 70, that's a big problem.
Yeah.
60,
So that's the national average is 70.
Right.
So you could imagine May is going to be worse.
well, yeah, we're going to talk about it, but every week more people lose their job.
Yeah.
You lose your job, you don't have a check, you're not paying your rent.
Yeah. So that number in May probably goes to 50%.
Easily, which is crazy.
Crazy. So eventually this is going to lead to mass evictions at some point. Because here's the problem is that you're going to go let's say you can get your job back and you can start paying your rent. You're not going to be able to catch up. I mean, I don't know if you saw the Jared Kushner Dirty Money, the way Jared Kushner's company on the apartments, they would tack on fees if you're late, and then they tack that onto your next rent, and then next thing you know it, you're buried in fees. So these low income renters usually get taken advantage of the most because they don't know how to read between the lines or handle the situation. And I can imagine a low income renter not paying their rent, and then June comes and the landlord's fine. You can now start paying off your old rent. They're going to tack on fees and interest and fuck them.
So I actually think
That's what's gonna happen.
I actually think it's the person is. So I don't. For the first time, I think the individual is actually not going to get screwed here. I think who's going to get screwed here if you just keep going down the list. It's like the renter. There's going to be governor laws, mayor laws in cities that say you can't evict people if you didn't pay rent during this shutdown.
Because like, where do these people go?
Right, and that'll cause a bigger crisis.
Right.
And I think the renter's actually going to be fine. They're not going to allow you to be evicted if you didn't pay April, May. And here's where it gets
They're going to
screwed.
screw them on the fees.
I don't think so.
I'm telling you. You know why? Because if you watch this.
No, I think people that are uninformed will get screwed.
But that's most of the population.
They're just going to accept the fees and accept everything because by the letter of their lease, they're allowed to charge the fees. But there's going to be exceptions. Here's what I was getting at. So the renter's going to get forgiven for the rent whenever we get back to normal. The landlord's not going to be able to pay their mortgage, and the banks aren't going to forgive them on the mortgage because the government was already too late. From my understanding, everyone I've talked to in real estate, it's already too late because the government, from a mortgage bank standpoint, the government should have put pauses on mortgages 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
And now it's too late. The wolves are out. Everyone's out for blood.
Yep. And that's my problem is that like I'm watching the stock market go up. I'm watching our president have optimism about things opening up, but it's not reality. Reality is this is a fucking disaster by mega proportions. And look, we're not going to sit and talk about all the medical impact because I don't even understand that. I don't understand what does it do to hospitals in 3 months when all these, I mean, I'm hearing massive revenue drop at every hospital.
Yep.
layoffs. They're firing people at hospitals because they can't afford it because there's no elective procedures being done.
And largely, hospitals are intentionally being kept empty.
Yeah.
For this wave that isn't coming in certain areas. I get you have to do that because if we didn't socially distance, we didn't do all these things, the hospitals would be overrun. But we did, so they're intentionally keeping hospitals empty.
I think we've got to fill them up with boob jobs and nose jobs.
Yeah, what's the plastic surgeon doing right now? They're screwed. They're not getting that done.
Luckily, they've made a lot of money.
Yeah, they also spend a lot.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Plastic surgeons are a flashy.
Yeah, they're a flashy bunch.
Ain't that the truth?
And like these Botox places that were just printing money.
Oh, my God.
They can't be open, right? No way.
They might be considered essential. They might fall under some weird guidelines.
Yeah, because right now, you're not going to the doctors or hospital unless you think you're dying.
Yeah.
Because you don't want a risk of getting corona. And, I actually heard someone say, and it made me think about like the way I've been doing exercises. Like, you don't want to put yourself at risk where you like tear an Achilles, tear an ACL, and you end up having to go to the doctor's office or hospital.
Oh, my God.
Right?
That's crazy.
So like yesterday, was it raining? Did it rain yesterday?
Yeah.
I was it was lightly drizzling in my area, and I was like, I should go for a run. I'm not going to be drenched. I was like, that's stupid. What if I slip, fall, crack my head, and have to be at the hospital?
Yeah.
Be a disaster.
Yeah, it's insane.
You guys live scary lives. Just like in constant threat like that. But I get it.
No, but like you want to avoid at all costs putting yourself in a position where you have to go to the doctor's office.
Yeah, if you have to go to the doctor, you're screwed.
I rode my scooter today.
Yeah.
To work in the rain.
Yeah, it's
You're reckless. You know what also is reckless? The job losses in this country. New U.S. unemployment claims totaled 6.6 million last week, coming to a record number of, drumroll please, we're at 17 million, guys.
Holy shit.
Let's go.
That's fucking scary.
Staggering. Just 10% of the workforce. I'm surprised CNN doesn't have the unemployment ticker with the debt ticker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Why don't we?
add
We're gonna get one of those going. Fuck this. You don't want it, we will.
Outdone by CNN with their fucking fear mongering content.
Yeah. I mean, so, we've gone up every single week since the last 3 weeks. Watch the stock market just soar again today.
So what happened today is the Fed announced 2.3 trillion, basically to shore up the bond market.
Yeah.
So what we're seeing in the stock market is the government has made it clear they will grease the institutions as much as possible to keep the party going.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. The underlying assets that are going up, which are the actual businesses, are cratering.
Yes.
So this is completely fake.
Yeah.
When does it correct? Because you don't have to be a genius to be like, okay, the stock market's going up because the Fed's just manipulating it right now. Fine. But when earnings come out, what can the Fed do?
So I still strongly believe we're going to see a heavy correction. I don't like everyone I talk to. Okay, there are small businesses out there that are doing phenomenal, but they're so small in the grand scheme of things, right? Then there's these really large businesses like an Amazon or a Costco that are having record week after week. There's 90% of all the other businesses in the middle. So let's take hospitality, airlines, automobiles. I mean, just millions of industries that are just getting cratered and clobbered.
Yep.
And I just don't, there's no scenario with all the lending, all the facilities possible, because it's not free money that's going out to businesses, at least.
Right.
It's debt. Businesses are getting debt. And with the hopes that they'll pay them back.
This is the way the government should actually be doing this is fine. The Fed greasing the market, I'm okay with.
Yeah.
But you have to grease us too.
Yeah.
You have to grease the businesses. You have to grease the individuals. Like, why isn't there just like 8 trillion going out? Here's like, forgive everyone's taxes. Don't pay taxes in 2020.
Yeah.
Like all this stuff.
Yeah. So I think they will. I know we haven't had luck with getting any help from SBA or Wells Fargo, and But the one thing I do have faith in, I actually think the small businesses are going to get some sort of assistance. Here's the caveat to that. I think it's going to take a lot of time.
Yep.
I think there's going to be a first wave of businesses that get money. But like we said, a friend of ours who got money can't even use it.
Right.
So, I mean, a business like that can't operate, they need to be given the money still, because once their business does open, they're going to be in a huge financial deficit to vendors.
But can they keep the money until they open?
No, it's like got to be used in 8 weeks. One of the caveats that our friend shared with us is it has to be used the next 8 weeks.
Right.
So that's that particular loan. I think that's for the payroll protection. I don't know how the disaster loan assistance works, but I don't know if they've created the right financial products to help small businesses. Because the right product would be for our friend's business is, here's the money. You can't dividend it to yourself.
Yeah, that's fine.
But use it to keep your business alive and figure it out. Like 50% has to be used on payroll. The other 50% could be pay vendors. Because if they pay their vendors, the vendors will pay their employees. It'll trickle down.
Yeah, but see, here's what I struggle with. These policies are being made by politicians that don't understand the nuances of small businesses, which I don't expect them to, because think about our business is dramatically different than a restaurant business, which is dramatically different than...
Yeah, it's hard to find a singular product.
Right. So you just have to blindly give money, no strings attached. That's the only solution.
Yep.
I don't see anything else. Because if you try to make these strings attached with payroll and it has to go to employees, but some businesses, payroll is not the most important thing.
Yeah.
It could be inventory. It could be so many different things.
And yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it's really, really tough. And the challenge is that these jobs are just piling up. Like, it's official. Our job losses are exceeding the 2008 financial crisis.
Week 3. We're supposed to be in this till the most optimistic is 4/30, which is another 21 days. But we all know that we're not coming back.
Okay, let's say in 21 days, we might be double in unemployment where we're at.
Right.
In 21 days. Double.
And we know we're not opening 4:30.
Anything. You don't think anything opens 4:30?
I feel like they have to.
What are they going to open?
I don't know, but like...
Maybe parks?
Yeah, I think so. Parks and like golf
Beaches?
courses.
Parks to me is a disease center.
Yeah.
Everyone's touching those handlebars and the
Wait,
swing.
all right, so 4:30, we have everything I've read. Everything's kind of better than projected because this actually worked.
Yeah, the debt toll now is sub 100,000. They're saying in America. Some even say as low as like 50,000.
Right, and the numbers were supposed to be 100 to 240,000.
The first, remember, 1 million dead.
Yeah.
That was the first number they said. 1 million people died, and everyone's like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Oh fuck!
I think the 1 million because now the anti-corona influencers are talking about that, but that was assuming nothing was going to be done.
Yeah, and
So
I get it. It was a
dramatically
scare
shut down
tactic.
we shut down the country.
Yeah.
That's why it's not a million, not because the coronavirus isn't as deadly as we thought.
Yep.
Something's got to open though.
What's going to open?
I don't know,
Tell
but
me,
they just need to tell us.
So
Just say you're gonna open something. A golf course.
I think golf course
Let me
and
go play
maybe, but
golf.
that doesn't affect any. I mean, who does that affect?
I don't know.
Are you going to pick up golf? Maybe I'll pick up
I
golf.
I play golf.
Oh, you do play
yeah,
golf?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I could go golf.
Okay. And then think about, so we're talking about the country's unemployment. Think about Las Vegas.
Oh man.
I mean, I don't see how a city like, I have so many friends in Las Vegas who actually listen to this podcast. It is going to be devastating for that city to even come back. Because what does coming back mean in Las Vegas? What's the capacity? You think if hotels reopen June 1st, okay. What is a capacity at a hotel?
Yeah, who's touching cards and chips
Without a vaccine.
and slot machines?
Without a vaccine.
Yeah.
Who's going to the
Who's going to
Wet
the room?
Republic?
Yeah.
Oh my
Without a
God.
vaccine. Who's going to a nightclub? Without a vaccine.
I just don't see it happening.
How can you trust anybody cleaning your room? How can you trust that your room is clean? How can you?
Like, you know who, like, we called the NBA shutting down as like a big turning point. To me, the big turning point would be when Disneyland opens. Because that to me is the most sensitive audience. It's old people, it's children, it's families. This is most of America are those types of people, right? So it's like when Disneyland opens, like I would love to have a be a fly on the wall of the operator, the actual CEO of the Disney theme parks, and be like, when in God's name are you opening up? Because the moment they open up, I will go do anything.
You know, now that
I'll do anything. I'll go on a freaking cruise. If they open up.
Bullshit, you will.
we've talked about this before about how Bob Iger just knew how bad it was. He saw the signs in Asia and was like, "Oh, we're screwed."
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. And I thought them hiring someone that ran their parks as their CEO, not someone that understood technology, because streaming was supposed to be the future.
Yeah.
So maybe Bob Iger's like, "Hey guys, we need someone who knows parks
Because
this is going to be a disaster."
Because if it starts at the park level, because if you can figure out how to open up Disneyland, then a restaurant, a movie theater, everything can be figured out.
Yeah.
If you can figure out how to open, I mean, I haven't been to Disneyland since 1998 June for grad night. And I remember it being pretty crowded and it was really late at night.
Yeah.
So I can imagine what Disneyland is on a casual day.
Yeah.
And the thing with Vegas, unfortunately, is that in everyone's life, Vegas is a nice to have. It's not a necessity.
Right. Yeah.
People go to Vegas for fun, for that getaway, to go rage for a weekend.
You wonder like who lives there. Like
Right. So that my point
Right.
is they get hit the hardest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So if you've been in Vegas since 2001, you've stomached the
Ugh.
01 recession,
Yeah.
which was the .com crash.
Yeah.
Vegas took a massive hit.
9/11.
9/11, of course, and then the 08.
Yeah.
Vegas
SARS was big for Vegas because of
Right.
Asian tourists.
Sure. Then 08, the recession, the Great Recession.
Which is a housing calamity in Las Vegas.
Correct. And then now this, because this is not only financial, it's health. It literally affects Vegas the worst.
Yeah.
Do you just up and move?
I mean, those jobs aren't going to come back, right?
Not for a long time.
Well, people said that about 08. It did come back.
No, but they're not going to come back in the next 12 months, pre-vaccine.
Yeah. I think
Even if it's open
yeah.
to some extent,
Yeah.
it's a fraction of the jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that.
Taxi drivers, I mean, how big's the taxi commission in Vegas?
Yeah, like how are you playing poker without touching those cards?
You have to play everything virtual.
Chips. Ugh,
You
gross.
literally have to bring in like your own iPad in to play.
I mean, even post-vaccine, I'm really curious what the actual behavior changes that we're doing now are just permanent. So everyone being more concerned about hygiene, that's 100%.
So Disneyland is just everyone wearing Mickey Mouse masks.
Everyone's been wearing masks at Disneyland,
Yeah.
even post-vaccine.
Yeah.
For how many-
100%.
For how long?
You know. So
I don't
like
think it'll be
I've been all
forever,
over
but-
Asia,
Yeah.
and predominantly in places like Korea and Hong Kong. Hong Kong's a good example.
Yeah.
A lot of people in Hong Kong and China. China, everyone wears masks pre this because of SARS.
Right.
And pollution and all these other reasons why people, and just for hygiene, mask is going to be a part of life.
Yep.
This isn't just a fad that we're wearing masks. We're just going to wear masks. It's just, that's it. It's how it's being done.
Yeah.
And we just have to deal with it.
Yeah.
We were not a hygienic society to
No.
begin with.
God, no.
I remember taking leaks in our bathroom, and I just watch people just walk out all the time.
That's disgusting.
All the time.
That's
Yeah, like shaking
And I
hands.
don't want to name names.
Shaking hands is not coming back.
Shaking hands is completely over.
I don't know.
Like, can you imagine if you're at like a conference, you shake like 100 people's hands?
That's
Why
different.
would you do that?
Not, yeah, that I think is gone.
Well,
I think
then
you
why
still
would
shake your friend's hands.
Why?
It's a greeting. It's how
I know,
friends.
but these things change. I'll bow.
I mean, just think about let's see where your hands are going at your home all day. Do you think I want to touch that? Do you think I want to touch your disgusting hand? Moving on.
I don't know.
If we have any
No.
ads, run ads here. Do you have anything to say, Pete?
I have a few things to say.
Okay.
I don't know. Do we have any new sales? Oh, guys, come on. The masks. The masks are the new thing.
Yeah.
Fuck everything else. New Republic, out the door. Mental, out the door. We're going mask and mask only. 3 for $12 over at thementalhouse.com or New Republic. Guys, they're 100% cotton, microbial masks. And let me tell you, I was wearing one the other day. I got a lot of good looks.
Good.
Somebody said I look like a big combat guy out there. And I said, that's what I might be now.
Maybe that could be good or bad. All right, let's get into politics. Here's the big news. And I actually don't think this is good news. Bernie Sanders has dropped out. So that's kind of paving the way for Biden to get the nomination.
Yep.
So the only reason why I don't think it's good news is because I want Joe Biden to have competition to potentially have another candidate or potentially take another strategy or potentially maybe wake up from his nap.
Right.
Now he doesn't have to wake up from his nap. He can kind of cruise. If Bernie Sanders stepping down means that Bernie's followers will support Joe Biden, great. I don't know if they are.
I don't think they show up. I think they stay home.
They stay home, and that's scary.
Yep.
I think politics is at a very crucial standpoint right now. And let me ask you a question. If you dropped out of the race, can you re-enter it?
I guess technically, because the ballots have been made, right?
I mean, like
I remember when I voted in the primary, there were candidates on there that had already dropped out.
Okay, so like hypothetically, if Pete Buttigieg or Mike Bloomberg said, you know what, screw you, I'm coming back.
So I need to do some reading on what a contested convention really is.
Yeah.
Because there's talk about that.
Yeah.
Like, what are the possibilities? Can Fauci become the nominee?
Well,
can Cuomo? Can Newsom?
Yeah. So that's where I think the Democratic Party, the people that are the Bernie guys and girls, the Pete Buttigieg followers, the people that were looking for something different, those leaders need to kind of get together and be like, do we honestly have a better candidate that can at least give Biden a run for his money for at least the convention? And then if it's Biden at the end of it, cool. We can decide to rally behind him. My concern is that like every time this guy shows up on TV, it's worse and worse. And we're in April. We have May, June, July, August, September, October to get 6 more months. This guy has to give like 100 more speeches.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can handle
500 more speeches.
And does he have the energy to campaign?
Does Joe Biden pass away during this run?
Like between now and November?
No, I don't think so.
I wonder, I mean, what happens if post-convention, he's the nominee, October, he actually has a serious health issue. Are the Democrats allowed to put someone else in?
I think so.
You would have to imagine.
I don't know. Trump won't allow that.
Yeah, he'll probably bitch and...
Did you see Trump trolling the Democratic Party?
No.
Because he wanted Bernie so badly.
Yeah.
Because he's like...
He knows what
Yeah, he was like,
He just
the
wanted to shit on
corrupt
him.
Democratic Party, just another typical like hit job on Bernie from being the nominee. He's like, all the Bernie guys, come to the Republican Party. It was like a Suge Knight death row thing.
That's amazing. Well, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I think because the convention got delayed, it gives time for the Democratic Party to like figure some shit out. I hope people are there actually plotting a second solution. There has to be another candidate that can come out and show some fight. On to sports. There's only one piece of sports news. And the news, you may have heard this. Wimbledon has been paying for pandemic insurance for the last 20 years. It's $2 million a year. And they just collected a nice, hefty lump sum of $141 million for shutting down.
Does somebody get a bonus for this?
Like, who is Wimbledon?
Mr. Wimbledon's a smart motherfucker.
He's a smart motherfucker. He's a motherfucker that knew.
Where's the 141 going?
I mean,
better grass for the courts?
it's just an entity. It could be a nonprofit.
I think it is.
So,
Wimbledon.org, I feel like that's where I used to go to get scores.
Yeah, so it's probably they just and that's another industry that's going to change, insurance, right? Like think about it. We all have to buy pandemic insurance now because the next time this happens and we don't have pandemic insurance, we're not going to get they're not going to like, you know,
here's the thing though with the pandemic insurance, if this happens again, the insurance companies go out of business.
Yeah, but you know, if you bank on it happening in 10 years, they would have collected $1 trillion in fees.
And you just have to bank on the government bailing out AIG.
And they're going to price it insane.
Yeah, because like earthquake insurance, I don't own a house, but I know it's ridiculous.
It's expensive. And, you know, there was a time in LA where you couldn't even get earthquake insurance. It was so hard. And then they had some policies on the way they would change it because the Northridge earthquake was so devastating for LA. But good for Wimbledon. I mean, you were going to be my winner of the week, but...
Yeah, it's a good story.
You know, I'm glad insurance companies annoy me so much because I pay so much in insurance, whether it's health, car. I pay insurance for a car I never use. I pay insurance for health insurance for doctors I never go to. Like the amount of money that has been sucked out of me as paying for insurance, it just pisses me off.
I like
So good for you, Wimbledon. I hope you guys are having a big party.
I feel like Roger Federer should get like 10% of it.
Yeah,
Just give it to the past champions.
Yeah.
Roger Federer has won the most, then Pete Sampras.
I mean, technically, you're not giving out a prize package.
Yeah, and Wimbledon's only as good as the players that play in it.
Exactly.
The next article was really most interesting to me. I'm actually in the market for a car.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? I know you. You were scooting
Well,
around
me,
in the
because
rain.
I'm not going to take Ubers.
You're done.
Done. I mean, post-vaccine.
Got it.
So I need a car. So I want to go, and I can't drive
Well,
my...
there's nowhere to go other than here for now.
Because the car I have now is a sports car. It's not realistic to drive that around. So that's going to just sit in the garage.
Why don't you sell that to me? $5.
Fuck off. So, I'm in the market for a Chrysler Pacifica. It's a minivan.
That's been your dream car for a while now.
I've had my eye on this car for a while. I actually, funny enough, reached out to a dealership, I think in February, to buy one. And then this whole thing happened. I totally forgot. And then the email I used, I never really check it. It's like an old personal email. And I went on it the other day, and the guy is begging me to buy a car. So I was like, this could be a good time.
Yeah.
It's predicted that used car prices will plummet 15%.
Wow.
In the coming months. I don't know what that means for new cars. Like, how cheap can I get a Chrysler Pacifica?
Probably pretty cheap. And just to think
And
about...
I want it loaded.
Yeah.
Like, I want all the fixins.
I feel like Uber already made having a fancy car like kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like I don't know anyone. I mean, we know friends who have fancy cars, but it really isn't a status symbol anymore.
No.
I think this completely ends it.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was kind of alluding to in previous podcasts, where like unnecessary expenses, even post
Yeah.
this, are just gonna stop. Because
Yeah.
this was such a traumatic shock.
Humbling.
Yeah, humbling. We all realize this is what we need to spend our money on. This is what's necessary. I just don't think frivolous spending comes back right away.
So my idea with the Chrysler is get it fully loaded.
TVs in the back.
I mean, iPhones, iPads, whatever. I'll like get it decked out the way
Yeah.
I wanted, right? Maybe I'll gut it.
This would be
and
like
do
Pimp
something.
My Ride over here.
Yes, exactly. And then the main doors, the side doors are opens automatically. Fantastic. So you can press a button and they open. And Pete's gonna be my driver.
Ah,
You live close enough for me.
I've been a valet driver before, so it would be fitting.
where'd you valet cars?
At a hotel in Madison for like 2 years.
Okay, so
Any good stories? I feel like valets have good stories.
so the test drive, I was thinking, because I don't want to go and test drive the car. You should go test drive it for me. You like it. It's for both cars. And I only needed to come to and from work. You could probably use it the rest of the time.
Adam is a driver.
That could be a great,
I would
I'll
literally
pay for the insurance.
1,000%.
That's a good deal, right?
Yes, it's an amazing deal.
Yeah, we'll just come to work every day together.
Sure.
I mean, you literally live down the street from me.
Yep.
Wow,
I thought
Pete
about this
came
whole
up-
thing.
I love this. In a
But I'm
pandemic.
sitting in the back.
Sure. I mean, I don't care where you sit.
Okay, I'm not saying in the
Doesn't
front.
fucking matter
You
to
know, don't
me.
chat either, right?
Yeah, it's quiet preferred.
Yeah.
It's fine. We can just sit in silence. I do it.
But
done
I
it.
think we need a van because we always have stuff and we can bring people on board.
I really like that we're having this conversation right now.
And I was thinking of putting, because for my vlog, just installing a camera in the back. Just fuck it.
And
It's
then
so
just start
good, yeah.
talking.
Yeah,
that
start-
should do a detour on to and from work.
Yes, it's just I'm vlogging all the time. I'm gonna vlog. I have a camera on you, a camera on me, and
We can
that's-
put lights in there. It's easy to get it nice and lighted.
I saw some cool like white light thing you can buy on
Easy.
Instagram now for $49.
Wow.
Boom.
I like this idea.
Wow, this van could be a big content.
But what
idea.
about weekends? Who gets the van? Pete likes to go on
He's
those
got a car
hikes.
already. You know what I mean?
So the weekends isn't as important because I can use Haley's car on the weekend.
Yep.
So I think on the weekend,
Do you know what I mean?
we'll just have to coordinate. There'll be instances where I'll need it, but for the most part, I won't need a car on the weekends.
Yeah.
But I get this.
And I'm out on the weekends, so I don't really use the car much either.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, at night he's gonna Uber anyways.
Yeah.
He's getting hammered. But this is
Wow.
kind of a.
It's a great idea.
And where does it park? He parks it at his building?
I'm okay with that.
I don't have parking. I only
You
get
have a
two.
parking garage, don't you?
Yeah, parking garage,
can
but we
he
only
park
get two
at your
spots
house
for
and walk home?
Yeah, we could put the scooter in the back, and then if you need to scooter anywhere,
We can figure out parking.
You know
Don't
when you
worry
have a
about
big
that.
yacht and you have the little dinghy, That's the dinghy is a scooter.
Everything in my scooter.
The
How to get
Chrysler's
to
the
land,
yacht.
how to get home, how to get to land, right?
Yeah.
That's the same thing.
So we just always keep a scooter. What we'll do is we'll have a trunk built in underneath where we can stick two.
I'm
scooters
100%
underneath it.
in for this. I hope you know this.
Yeah, no, this is. I had already planned this out. This is
Okay,
part of
cool.
Because I need another car anyways. Because I'm not gonna take an Uber until vaccine.
Great.
Right.
All right, it's good news.
Good news.
Great news.
there's
for
a-
people.
So, any used cars or no, any salesmen out there?
Yeah, I'm looking for a Chrysler Pacifica,
us
fully
up.
loaded, and I want a deal.
Used.
I'll even take used if as long
take
as it's
used.
worst
Slightly.
case. I just spend the money to upgrade all the features.
Should get a V8 in there.
A V8 minivan. Where are we going?
I don't know. To the moon and back.
And another business that's not doing too well. Obviously, the car industry is struggling. Airbnb. More information is coming out on their business, how they're struggling. I mean, what's your thoughts on Airbnb? What's going to happen here?
It'll exist because the existing investors will make sure of that.
Yep.
They have the deepest pockets in private investing, the firms that have all invested in Airbnb.
So let me ask you this. Ask you this
But-
question. Airbnb has told investors it expects revenue to fall by 54% this year. Is
And-
that a company that should be valued at $26 billion?
No. So Airbnb just raised $1 billion in a convertible note with what we're hearing is like 15% coupon.
Yeah. Which is, just so for people understanding that, imagine paying 15% interest
Yeah.
on a loan.
With a-
15%.
With a company that was going to lose probably $1 billion already this year.
Think about how desperate you have to be if you're willing to pay 15% interest. This is a scary ass company right now. 15% interest. Do you know how much money? These companies don't make any money. How do you pay 15% interest on $1 billion?
You have to use part of the loan to pay the interest.
Yeah. So on $1 billion loan, you're paying $150 million of interest a year.
So if you think about how
That's so
quickly
Is that math right?
so how quickly things change for Airbnb. Had they gone public in 2018, when it was the hottest company in the market and they were actually profitable back then,
Yeah.
people thought they could have been valued at $50 billion.
Wow.
Today, the last round was at 26, or the mark to market was 26. That convertible note converts at 18 billion when they go public. I don't
Yeah.
think they're gonna go public. I don't think the company's worth even 18 billion.
No.
And now the CEO, there's rumors that the board wants him to step down.
Wow. And by the way, the interest that we're hearing is actually 11 to 12%. I saw 15% too.
I heard mid-teens.
Mid-teens. Teen means 13 at least.
Yeah, mid-teens. 10 to 11 is what the information reported, but I'm hearing mid-teens.
Okay, so 50, let's call it 15%.
We'll call it 13. Give him a low teen.
It could be 19.
That's true.
I mean, you put it like this. In our most desperate days, would we ever take money at that rate?
Absolutely.
You think so?
Yeah, of course. His alternative is shutting down.
I guess
Because if
we
they
would.
don't get the billion,
They're out.
yeah. They claim they have $4 billion on the balance sheet, but
Then why do you need another billion?
because they're gonna burn that $4.
Don't spend any money. Cut your advertising. Cut
no,
staff.
so here's
what staff does Airbnb really need?
No, so-
it's just a marketplace.
So I think part of the crisis is Airbnb is gonna bail out their super host because they can't pay their mortgages. So if you lose that product, you're toast even when the shit
You're
comes
probably
back.
better off just buying the real estate. At least own something. You know how they said Uber doesn't own any cars? You know what? Maybe you should own some fucking cars. You know what? You should have owned the house. Because guess what? You own nothing now. I
you're
hate that
just a
stupid
marketplace.
Instagram post. Uber didn't own any cars. Airbnb,
Yeah, what
Uber
happens-
doesn't own any restaurants. Well, guess what? You're worth nothing. You own nothing.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough, and that's another permanent behavior change. I don't think Airbnb's even post-vaccine. You're gonna want to book. You want consistent cleaning.
Yeah.
You want to know what happened before standardized processes.
And hotels won't be that
And
expensive.
Airbnbs are hit or miss. We've all done it.
Oh,
I've
man.
had some great experiences and
Yep.
some awful ones.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's Airbnb's still a revolutionary brand and product. It's just a small company.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's the same thing with rideshare. I think rideshare is going to get crushed. I
Yeah.
honestly believe
It
it's
should
going to
be,
get crushed.
all these companies should be much smaller. That's all it is. They're great services. Airbnb post-vaccine is going to serve a great market. It's just not a $50 billion company.
Agreed. So let's go on to some people that actually might be winning because those are all losers. Who's your winner of the week, Anand?
Dave Portnoy.
Wow.
Yes.
Dave
Fuck
Portnoy.
yes. I have not stopped watching this guy's fucking content since he started doing this like 2 weeks ago.
So I've obviously heard about El Presidente. I know everything about El Presidente and Barstool Sports, but I never consumed the content. I can't get enough of it.
Yes.
Now.
It's addicting.
So Dave Portnoy, for those that don't know, is the founder of Barstool Sports. And the reason why it's the most interesting now is he recently started day trading.
Oh man, it's
He's
so good.
called Davey Day Trader, and he wakes up. He literally, when the bell rings at 9:30 in the morning, he has a bell. He rings it, ding, and he then like this morning. Holy fuck! I'm down $197,000. Fuck Boeing. He's shorting Boeing.
Yes,
he's been
It's
shorting
the funniest
Boeing all
fucking
week.
thing ever.
No, yesterday he rings the bell and he goes down 116K off the fucking gun. Off the fucking gun. It's literally 1 minute into market. He goes, my players just don't play. My players don't play. It's like an West Coast team traveling to East Coast. It's a new.
His commentary is gold.
And to me, he is definitely the winner of the week. So he started doing unboxings.
Yeah.
Yes, the unboxings are ridiculous.
And by the way, they're like 3 hours long. Okay.
Yes, and he's holding upwards of like 60,000 people through a 3-hour unpacking.
He is the biggest star on Instagram Live consistently.
Yeah,
Yes.
no one's putting up those numbers.
No.
Nobody's putting up.
How does this guy, he must wake up super early and he's on the whole day. And the
Podcast.
energy level is consistent.
You know what's really a good content by them is the history of Barstool.
Yeah.
This guy's been doing it forever. That's
Yeah.
why he can do it. He's
Yeah.
literally been doing this for the last like 20 years.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's just not people paying attention.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's got the samurai sword.
Yes.
He's just
And this
running.
axe, there's an axe, samurai sword.
And you see the guys with the hazmat suits that came
Yeah.
to like
Yeah.
steam all this stuff.
And then even the unboxings he has,
Yeah.
he has like 700 boxes in
Yes.
his apartment.
His,
Like, literally
his apartment
700.
is literally packed full. Right now, it's literally to floor to ceiling with packages.
Nah,
I
he-
typically don't gravitate towards that content. Maybe it's a
So
function
good
of
right now.
pandemic. It's incredible.
Yeah, to
Incredible.
me, he's going to come out even bigger out of this. My winner is Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos did the one thing that I was thinking he should have done a long time ago, which is walk through a warehouse.
What do you think he was doing instead?
You know what he was
What took
doing?
him so
He
long?
I'll tell you what he was doing. His team he goes, make sure there's no one in any of those warehouses with
Test all
corona.
of them.
Yeah, test them
So
all.
go test everyone, get the temperature. When you figured all that out, pick one. I'll show up at one.
This is the equivalent of like when the president of the United States showing up to Iraq or Afghanistan. Go to the battlefield.
Yeah. So he went to the battlefield, and in this case, it is warehouse workers because they are getting a lot of heat. He goes in with his mask on. He gets his temperature checked. He does a walkthrough, shakes hands.
Oh, he shook
No, not
hands?
shaking.
Whoa,
Sorry.
whoa.
No. Waves
Yeah,
at
yeah.
people. Everyone's excited to see him. Obviously, Jeff Bezos is a superhero.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like you see,
He's
Jeff
God walking through there.
Yeah, it's like you're excited. He posted it on his Instagram. Like it is exactly like a president going to an army base during a war. And that's what he did. I think more and more CEOs, even though we all know it's a publicity stunt, it's a good one. That shit works.
Yep.
We want to see that. That gives the everyday person confidence that things are getting back to normal.
One more winner, doctors and nurses and
Okay.
everyone in the hospital industry. They're like modern day heroes right now.
Yeah.
It's like soldiers going to war.
I saw a video of corona patients being transferred in a bus. I'm talking, they are on top of each other.
Right.
Nurses are stuck in these buses. Like, if you're a nurse or doctor in, say, New York City, I don't even understand how you don't get corona.
Yeah, they're just probably praying they're in the asymptomatic or
yeah.
they just get a bad 2 weeks of like something recoverable. And we're probably not even testing all of them
Yeah.
to know who should be around which
Yep.
patients. And there's like, I think some hotels in New York that are being repurposed for nurses that they've brought in.
Yeah.
And it's like a swarm of people every morning getting onto the bus to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
It's equivalent of like storming Normandy.
Yeah, it is because people are dying.
Yes.
It's insane. Yeah, definitely. All shout out to everyone working in the hospitals. That's especially in New York City. I just can't imagine what's going on over there. But yeah, all over the country, all over the world, really. Okay, so who's your loser?
My loser is the dipshit reporter at the Trump
Yes.
press conference
Fucking-
who asked Donald Trump if he was going to pardon Joe Exotica. We're in the middle of a pandemic press conference where we're trying to get real information.
What station were they from?
I don't know.
We need to look that up.
I have the clip, so you could post
I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah.
But like, guy, come on. We're trying to find data and information to figure out, are we making progress? What things are being done behind the scenes? What are pharmaceutical companies saying? When are things going to get opened up? What's going around the world? Who's doing what? Like, why are you asking if Joe Exotica is going to get
Stupid.
pardoned?
It's embarrassing.
He was just doing this to go viral on the internet, and he did.
Yeah, it's just embarrassing. There's gonna be a lot of disruption in the news. It's just a joke. So my loser is Retail Joe.
Okay.
Retail Joe just saw the stock market go up 25-30% in the last week, 10 days. And maybe I'm a pessimist or a realist or whatever you want to call it. I think the markets are going to get clobbered still.
Well, yeah.
And I feel bad. I think Dave Portnoy is going to win big. He keeps shorting Boeing.
Fuck Bo.
Fuck Boeing. And who's buying planes? Explain to me.
They're not even running.
His theory is right.
Yeah.
Who is buying planes?
Yeah. He's like, these motherfuckers went up again today.
Yeah.
Fuck these guys.
It's like Anand shorting Win. How is Win going to go up?
The Win,
There's an open.
Win stock has gone up like 25
100% since its low.
Yeah.
100%.
With by being closed.
How long does this take before it starts reflecting what's happening?
It takes time.
It takes time.
You have to have a stomach to stay. It's the same thing. It's like, I've been thinking about a slowdown in the economy for so long. Could I stomach doing it for 2 years? Probably not. I probably would have bailed.
Yeah.
It's like I did bail. Most of my investments, all my kind of put options had kind of expired a long time ago before all this. So it's like, you gotta, I feel bad for retail investors. I feel bad who are trading the market. It's just a rigged game. It's not meant for people like you and me to win. You get lucky and you ride the right wave. You could make some money, but most people are going to get creamed.
So in the middle of the entire global economy being shut down, we've had the greatest week in the stock market since 1938.
It's amazing. And
Someone
the highest
explain that to me.
unemployment claim ever in the same week.
I don't claim to be a genius, but I'm also not a dummy.
Yeah.
Can someone explain it to me?
Yeah. I don't care. Everyone's like, oh, it's hedge funds trading. Shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Who's your loser, Anna?
My loser was the reporter.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Okay. Pete, you're always a loser.
Who's your loser?
Retail Joe.
Retail. Sorry, we just got off on tangent. Content. So this is how I've been trying to keep a happy mood. Rom-coms. I want a rom-com binge.
Okay.
That can only last so long on it.
I'm going to give 5 this week, 5 next week. If I keep going, I'll
Let's see what
I'll
you
give
got.
you my 5. I'm not going to talk about them, opinions, but just check them out. Notting Hill, About Time, Sliding Doors, Reality Bites, and 50 First Dates.
Ugh, I knew
my
50 First
first
Dates would
5.
be on there.
I'm not ranking them. Tim's really excited.
Tim's excited. Tim, are you a big rom-com guy?
About Time is my favorite film of all time.
Wow,
About
Tim's
Time is his favorite.
film.
Okay.
Wow.
I've never even heard of it.
It's great. You'll
who's
love
in
it.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Give me a character.
Rachel McAdams,
Look at
Donald
that.
Gleason.
Rachel McAdams?
Came
Okay.
out in 2013. It's amazing.
It's a really cool
Okay.
premise.
Okay. Interesting movie.
Can I give you the premise?
I thought you were not going to talk about it.
I didn't want to, but you're going to like About
Okay,
Time.
tell me the premise.
He can go back in time whenever he wants.
Ugh.
Okay.
only the places he's been. In his
The
life.
place. Okay. Tim's the expert here.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. I can.
You got to come back next week and rate him, though. What's the best?
No, I can't rank them.
Oh, okay.
And
Wow.
they're all too nuanced. I just want to enjoy my life.
Okay.
Without pressure.
I'll tell you a
competition?
movie.
Rom-coms.
I need sports back.
I have 2 content recommendations. Actually, I'm just going to discuss one of them. I haven't decided if I want to recommend it yet. Blinded by the Light, about this little Pakistani kid.
Oh, yeah. Is that Dave Patel?
No. Someone else.
No,
You're dropping the
because-
racist.
No, because I was going through iTunes and I saw a Dave Patel movie.
So he is born in Luton, England, and he's discovers Bruce Springsteen. It's like a musical almost, Bruce Springsteen music. It could be good. I'm like halfway through. It could be terrible by the end of it. I don't know.
It's good Rotten Tomatoes.
Shout out to him. It's an interesting concept. Good music. I like the boss. But the show that I've been watching is called 000. It's on Amazon Prime. It's like another drug movie. It is the most convoluted drug movie because there's like an Italian family, there's like a Mexican family, and then there's an American family all in it. So many subtitles because there's like 14 different languages. It's not a good show for passive watching. Like I just jammed through season 2 of All American, which was fantastic, but which you could passively watch. The 000, you got to really pay attention, but it's good.
Got it.
So even though all streaming services are technically winning right now, who do you think is actually winning? Like
Disney, 50 million subs.
Yeah, I think the kids at home.
How about in your opinion? Like, if you had to take one right now, for the rest of
Tiger
quarantine.
King with Netflix is so culturally big that like.
Yeah.
But if you had to take one right now for the rest of quarantine, pick one.
Oh, if I had to stick with one,
Mm-hmm.
I would stick with Netflix. This is too much content.
You want to know why I go Amazon Prime? Because you can rent other movies
Yeah.
that aren't on the platform natively.
You like that?
Yeah, because Netflix, you're confined to.
Can I
anything
tell you
Netflix.
what I can't get over? So I want to watch Bad Boys 3. I go to iTunes. It's $19.99. I have to buy it. You want me to pay $20? I'm not going to do it. And Haley's like, why don't you just do it? I'm like, no, I'm not spending $20. I refuse
I'm not
to.
gonna fucking do
I'm
it.
like, I will rent it for $4.95. I got no problem. $19.99?
Is that an option or no?
You might as well go to
They
the theater.
eventually make it an option.
Because they've lost all their box office.
Who
revenue.
is? I mean, like, unless you have children and you can't download the movie or
It's
something.
like buying albums. Like
Like,
who's buying
why
albums?
why are you making me do $19.99? And who are these people that can just casually throw around $20 to go watch a movie?
Bill Simmons, he said it on Twitter.
What?
He said, "Charge me $20. I'd love
Okay,
to buy
when
every
I
movie."
get $200 million,
I'll buy a $20 movie.
you know what? Every movie I watch, I'll buy it for 1,000 people just to have someone to talk to about it. That's what I would do if I had $200 million in cash
why
right now.
Well,
People
it's
talk to
documented down.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem.
When I have $200 million in my bank account, I will, every time I watch anything, I will pay for 1,000 people to watch it with me.
Incredible. Way to get back to society,
Yeah.
huh?
What's Bill Simmons doing? Just
Nothing.
telling everyone that
Yep.
he'd pay for it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Big dick flex, huh?
Yeah, big dick flex. All right, guys, that's it.
Did you hear about the other really big news though?
Okay, let's hear it, Pete.
Oh, Steve Carell is back.
Doing what?
And better. So coming out in May, Netflix announced Space Force with the creator of The Office, Greg Daniels, directing it.
And it's a movie?
No, TV show.
And what is it about? About people going to space?
Yeah.
It'll probably
Steve
be
Carell's
good.
back.
What
the
channel
Office
is
is
it
pretty
on?
much back. Netflix.
Oh, okay, I'll watch it.
Interesting.
You should watch The Office.
As
too.
long as it's part of my Netflix package. If they're going to charge me $19 to watch it,
I'm not
watch
doing it unless I have $200 million in my bank account.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you Monday. Check out the newsletter. Taylor's been doing an excellent job. If you haven't wondered, Taylor hasn't been around. Taylor, why don't you expose where you are in the newsletter?
He posted a picture on Instagram.
Yep.
Looked like a golf course.
I'm getting real close to just exposing the guy.
Yeah,
I
if
can't
he
take it
doesn't
anymore.
publicly say it in the next
Yep.
newsletter, we're exposing
Yeah,
you.
if
There
you
he
don't,
is.
then I'm calling you out for exactly what's going on. I'll see you Monday.